combination of things, actually, between a real estate agent and who've given us several names, which included Greg's company, and then our financial advisor, who had some clients up here, had mentioned his name. And we'd already met with a couple of different companies. And even though they were encouraging and were listening, we just didn't feel we were getting the dream that we had. It wasn't coming out on paper. So we decided to meet with Greg, and it was kind of, we clicked instantaneously. It's, you know, it's just one of those things where you just know this is the right person to build your dream house. We knew that we could work with him, and I can't explain it. It just happened. And I think that's when you get your best results, when you connect on a level beyond just ideas and blueprints. You come out with something that you all share, which is a vision. Well, we had some ideas in our heads from going out to Colorado. We got several general ideas about what we wanted. Because we like more of a modern type style, but we really couldn't put it down into a written form. After we met with Greg, though, he had recommended that perhaps we wanted to talk to Bradley Dowdy, the architect in Boone, and that he'd worked with Bradley before, and they'd had really good results. So we followed that advice, went and talked to Bradley, and then we really clicked with him as well. He saw what we were looking for, and it didn't even take a lot of iterations of drawings.
3 drawings, I think.
We were done, and
before the building process, I think we thought we'd be up here a lot more. But once we saw, when we did come up, everything looked great. Everything was under control. Everything was moving right along. We came up maybe, what, once a month?
Something like that.
Something like that, and the rest of the time they just did the work. And as there were questions, Greg would call us. We'd go through a checklist and just talk through each of the items, and they would handle it.
Yeah, the suggestions that Greg made for the various vendors that came in and other subs to do their part of the work, like the finish, the trim work, all the doors, because they are customized doors. They're not just hollowed out, just cheap. I mean, this was going to be a special home, and you need special type of vendors to make sure they built it right. So I've gotten a lot of comments about the stonework. That really has been a great accent to the external part of the outside of the home.
But they all came from at Greg's recommendation.
It's a very special feeling to the home when you're here, especially as you come into the house. It really strikes you, especially with the view out the back. This is a very unique home.
The fireplace, we went round and round whether we wanted some stone, wood, metal. We just had all different kinds of concepts. We were a little bit all over the board with that. And Greg had suggested slate. We'd never thought about slate on the fireplace. And we have a metal surround around the fireplace, or stainless steel. So he did some dark gray variations on the fireplace, on the slate, and it's just gorgeous.
He's a good listener. There's perseverance. It's determination to get the end product right. And if it's not right, we tear it out and we do it again until it is right.
Did that a few times.
So that and just being truthful and honest with us about what works, what doesn't work, what it's going to cost to actually do it the way you want it. I mean, there was never any of that, I'll make it look this way, and then there were no surprises. So, and I think that's always key. And I would say, we developed a good relationship with him. I consider him a friend. And I think that even makes it even more enjoyable, the process, when you're not just working with, just a company. You're working with someone you can consider a friend, a confidant in the process. You feel really good about it, and I think it shows in the when you're finished, that everybody shares in the joy of what's just happened, and I think that meant a lot to us. And I'm sure that New River Custom Builders can build you anything that you want. It can be as modest or as grand as you want it. I think that's something unique about the company, is it's not just aimed at doing just one type of home and just rubber stamping and doing it over and over and over again. He has the flexibility and the scope of talent to be able to build what you tell him you want. So it can be small, it can be medium, it can be large, it can be grand from a customization standpoint. It can be more standardized, and that's why it's important for you to be, articulate what you want, and then they deliver.